All right, we're here. It is episode 24 of the ABCs of TPBs with your host Ninja Dave and also host Seed.
That's me.
We are reviewing the Ys today. We've got Young Avengers on deck, and we also have Y the Last Man. But before we get into it, we have a bit of a discussion to have about this Spider-Man Far From Home.
Far From Home.
I just saw it last night, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I know that you watched it probably like 2 weeks ago on a pre-screening kind of subterfuge.
It's been about 2 weeks almost, yeah.
Yeah, and you gave it a 3 out of 5, I believe.
I bumped it up to 3.5 out of 5.
Well, you never change your answer. You stick with your answer.
I went over on... Yeah, no, there's things... There's 2 movies I've changed my answer on before.
Which was those 2?
Wonder Woman, I switched. I downgraded it from a 5 to a 4.5.
Okay.
4 or 4.5. And Star Trek Beyond, I downgraded. I think from a 4 to a 3.5.
Okay. Very nice.
Never gone up. I've always gone down.
Oh, yeah. All right. Interesting. All right. Well, I found...
This is the first time I've gone up. I went from a 3 to a 3.5.
You went to... Okay. Yeah. Interesting. All right. Well, tell me... tell your listeners, we discussed a little bit today over the interwebs. Tell the listeners why you gave it the rating that you did.
I enjoyed the movie as well. The thing that really... grinds my gears about this movie in particular is there's more Tony Stark in this movie dead than there is Tony Stark in Homecoming alive. I think he looms far too much over Spider-Man Far From Home, and we've already seen that in Homecoming. I explained this a little bit on Paprika. His overall drive in Homecoming is I want to impress Mr. Stark. Mm-hmm. His overall drive in Far From Home is, I need to try to live up to the legacy of Mr. Stark. Mm-hmm. It seems like Spidey isn't his own person. Everything he does is in service to Tony Stark's whims and wishes or whatever the case may be.
He's not the self-made Spider-Man of, Uncle Ben, and now this propels me to do everything that I do going forward.
I mean, we still get great story, great acting, great action, all that kind of stuff. It's just his motivations of wanting to protect the neighborhood and do good because it's the right thing to do seems like that's fallen by the wayside, and it's more, like I said, in service of Tony Stark. It seems like, Tony Stark has replaced Uncle Ben in these in the series, and I guess if you want to distance yourself from Sony's 5 previous Spider-Man movies. I understand your reasoning for that, I suppose, but I think Uncle Ben is still integral to Pete, who he is as a person.
Yeah, it should be integral.
I find that lacking in the MCU. And I think, because the whole point of Uncle Ben is he is a righteous and moral person. He knows right from wrong. He has helped instill in Peter right from wrong. Tony Stark is not the person to replace Uncle Ben with, because that's not who Tony Stark is at all. He's my favorite character in the MCU, but he is not Uncle Ben.
Right.
So I think that kind of dampened things for me. But like I said, in that, I still enjoyed it. I said for years, do not do Mysterio until the special effects are right. And by God,
they're right.
They are 100% correct.
They were quite jarring. There were many times when I was confused. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, oh, look, that would have gotten me.
Oh, Quentin, you would have got me.
Quentin, you got me. But no, it was really good. I agree with you that it's a very different Spider-Man, and even though I've it's. That I did find that I found that to be kind of a turn off in that last, or just the way they brought Spider-Man in with the Tony Stark angle to begin with. But I've accepted this one as not the 616, even though Mysterio said 616, and that's not. He's lying. He's lying. Fake news.
He's all lying.
This is kind of an amalgamation between Ultimate Spider-Man from the comics and then Ultimate Spider-Man from the animated TV show. Well, that was interesting because it was like Spider-Man was his own deal, but then Nick Fury went around recruiting people, and so Nick Fury, much like in the movies, like, you can't do this shit on your own. you need guidance, training. I want to put you together with a team, give you more gear, that kind of stuff. And so Spider-Man became more of yes, he was still that neighborhood Spider-Man, but he was guided to become a better hero and work with a team and that kind of stuff, and do things solo, but also with a team and dynamic too. So,
and the idea, when was that cartoon? That
was back in 2000. That's close to 2012, 2013, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Around that time. But it had a really good run. Deadpool made a cameo and actually made an appearance in one of the episodes.
Well, they're friends of some weird kind.
Not really friends, but he was very fourth wall breaking. He got around the like what could have been an M rating by making some jokes that were just PG-13 in the cartoon. It was really done well. I recommend you go back and see it. But no, it was really done well. So I guess both of those, and also reading the Ultimates comic, it kind of got me in the mood of the mindset of it doesn't have to be like our classic guys as long as they present it well. And for this universe, for what they presented, it was a natural progression with that character. Yeah, this Spider-Man's more rock star, if you will, but he still has the core Peter. Oh, what the fuck. Mine down my luck.
Parker luck.
The whole Parker luck. That's throughout. So it worked for me.
Okay.
I'll also add that instead of Edith, you get Ed Sisfa, which is even dead. Stark still fucking up.
100% true.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah,
It is.
I know he's your favorite. But he's still the greatest villain that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has ever seen.
That's still the most ridiculous notion and concept.
Hey, but it's also true.
I had a coworker. I think that belongs to Thanos, sir.
I don't know. He didn't succeed. and after Thanos died, there's no more threat. But after Tony died, his stuff is still out there, still fucking shit up.
Baron Zemo, same way. He succeeded, and he's still out there fucking shit up. With the splitting of the Avengers.
That remains to be seen. He did some good damage there. That's true. That's far reaching.
He has hit points.
But you got to see what they do with Zemo going forward. I'd like to see other Thunderbolts, really.
I feel like he said he's open to returning as Zemo. So
he should be.
Hopefully they do something with that.
I think he likes money.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
My coworker said he's completely done with these movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because we had seen, because even dead Stark is still fucking up, right? Mm-hmm. He points. He's like, we've seen this before. We saw Stark's past actions catch up with him in Iron Man 3 already, and now he's like, I'm starting to see patterns here and there of stuff we've already seen, and I'm like, I'm not sure 2 movies out of 23 constitutes a pattern, but there you have it. There you have it.
So he just thinks it's going to be more of the same.
He thinks it's going to be more of the same.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, we'll have to see. I thought I was going to be done with this because it was a long ride, and I was honestly I was a little underwhelmed with the wrap up. I still thought it was well done. It was acceptable, but it didn't wow me. I wanted to be wowed there at the end, And so and we'll talk some spoilers. Spoilers for the listeners. With the integration of like the Skrulls and classic J. Jonah Jameson, they're bringing a little bit of fan service, but also they're teasing some stuff that's coming up too. Yeah. Which I'm interested to see where they're going to take it.
Yeah,
we're not going to have Skrull invasion like I was dearly hoping.
Well, I don't see why we can't.
Well, I mean, yeah, the Skrulls aren't all good, but
yeah.
But they're working for Fury now.
Yeah, I feel like that's just it's one section of the Skrulls.
Right.
I feel like you don't just randomly bring Talos and his girl back for no reason whatsoever.
Right. What do you think?
They showed them and the fact that Nick Fury's working with Skrulls to keep the Skrulls at the forefront of our mind. Mm-hmm. So I think there's still more to do with the Skrulls.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, maybe Captain Marvel 2 is like some watered down version of Secret Invasion, whereas I would like an entire phase to be dedicated to Secret Invasion. But I think they're not done with the Skrulls yet, so it remains to be seen.
Okay.
And what's Fury doing up there? Is that sword that they're working on up there? I mean,
like Shield couldn't cut it, so now he's sword.
Sword.
But he didn't really run sword. He ran He appointed someone else to run Sword.
Yeah, I mean, he just might be getting Sword up and running before he appoints somebody to run it. Maybe so. But all in all, what is your rating of Far From Home? What scenes did you like?
I would say I would give it maybe a 4 out of 5, solid 4 out of 5.
What do you think about the him and MJ relationship?
I thought it was the most believable and most heartfelt MJ Peter relationship that we've had to date.
I think you are echoing the same thing everyone else is echoing.
I mean, it's just the truth. I mean, there were some things in that movie that I was not as cool with, like some of the scoring choices, some of the music choices were a little Some of the ways they handled the blip event, it just seemed a little hokey.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of B movie elements in it. But then what won me over was, again, Holland's performances, genuine, earnest stuff. Mysterio, Gyllenhaal with the whole hey, I'm the disgraced employee, as well as I've got this actor's flamboyance and flair for it, and then also the whole what is the truth, that kind of Trump era type of stuff there. So it was a very complex film in that regard, trying to juggle all those things together. But I think it did a pretty good job, especially after the momentum really started kind of picking up in the latter portion of the film.
Word.
And the special effects, I mean, this is one of those movies where I'm like, the special effects did not hurt the film. It actually helped propel it forward. I was actually, that gave me some wow.
Yeah, there was some good really wow factor in there. I think Gyllenhaal, man, knowing Mysterio was a bad guy, man. Yeah. His chemistry with Spidey is so good. You're like, oh man, is he? Nah, he got me. They got me.
Yeah,
they got me.
There was even one point where I was like, well, there's going to be something happen that it's going to make him turn or something. I was like, no, he was bad from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, this is Mysterio, the same character who tricked Wolverine into thinking he was helping out the mansion by attacking all these people, and nope, he killed the entire X team. Mm-hmm. So that's the kind of dude we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Trick Wolverine into killing the X-Men.
You think? Because I know they've got a lot of footage and whatnot, and he might have done like some kind of brain download. You think Mysterio is going to live on in kind of a digital representation and still terrorize?
We need him to. You still got the Vulture alive. You still got the Scorpion alive. Mm-hmm. You keep Mysterio alive, man. That's half your Sinister Six right there.
The thing is, I mean, Mysterio he can be dead or actually dead, but then like a digital copy of him remains. He's still a master of illusion. Yeah. Even though he's not alive, he's still physical. Not physically alive. He's still as terrifying as he ever was.
Yeah, we don't know what that dude downloaded at the very end, do we?
Yeah, we don't know. But maybe it was I don't know. Maybe I don't know, because he wouldn't have had time to record it just then in those times. But yeah, probably maybe it was a consciousness download. I don't know. I don't know.
I guess we'll find out, sir.
MacGuffin.
Who would you like to see in the third Spider-Man
movie? I would like to see the Sinister Six.
Oh, there's all of them.
Because, and then just go with me on this, in every film that we've had with this new Spider-Man, he's been severely outclassed by everything he's come up against.
Right.
He's either lucked up, he's gotten some help, he's been severely outclassed. The only way that you can really beef it up, and you can see that from the now that he's been designated as a target, an actual menace, a terrorist even, dangerous, as a task force put together to take him down. Sinister Six.
I'm along the same lines, but not quite. Yeah. I think someone else will be tasked to take him down.
Yeah.
That being like Kraven the Hunter. Yes.
Kraven.
Yes. And God damn it, Tom Hardy, why did you take Venom? Because that is a great Kraven the Hunter. He
can still do it.
He can still do it.
Because it's technically different studios anyway. Still.
True.
Because he could do it. I think I can agree with like a Kraven element, but I think we should start the movie with Kraven, have Kraven fail, and then they like okay, we need to beef this up, and then put the Sinister Six in for the rest of the movie.
All right then. Yeah. Cool. There you go.
Yeah.
Best of both ideas.
Yeah. We have gone on
far too long.
Far from home.
Let's talk about some comics.
Yeah, let's talk some Young Avengers here.
Yes.
Let's see here. This one's written by Kieron Gillen, one of my favorites. He wrote the original Darth Vader series after the Marvel Disney acquisition.
Yes.
Art's by Jamie McKelvey. That's Mike Norton. Colorist Matthew Wilson, also
Paper Girls.
Paper Girls fame. Letters VC's Clayton Cowles.
He's everywhere.
And there are just a bunch of cover artists in here. We're not going to go through all of them, but they're in there.
They're there.
So this is the one. This is the Young Avengers. Let's see, what's the title of this trade here?
That's Style Over Substance?
Style Over Substance, yeah. Or let's see, what is that? What's that just the name of this first issue? Yeah, Style Over Substance. So this one starts. I've read before this. I read the previous Young Avengers run. That was I don't know if you.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so that essentially was the same team, but up and running, and doing what they do out there in the streets. They had a bit of support from the Avengers. They were kind of almost like a renegade scene. It was kind of like Marvel's response to the Teen Titans type deal. So they were like, hey, let's get our group together of the younger versions of these other, but with kind of a twist as well. So I saw that I read that team for a little bit, didn't keep up with it, and I got this, and I was expecting it also to be that same story, that rehash. I was like, oh, let me reacquaint myself with this, but no, this one it takes place after the team is kind of broken up.
Yeah, continuity keeps on going.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm cool with that. So with this, the basic story behind this is that this team has broken up. You have some members of the team that don't want to give up crime fighting, still want to make a difference, and this book really focuses mostly on the interpersonal relationships,
right,
of the team. There are two team members who are romantically involved. You have some that are just kind of dealing with, and essentially their relationship strife causes the issue that we deal with in this trade. I
like the fact that the conflict of this comes from good intentions. It's not just a clear malevolence. It's just I want to do something for this person to make them happy, and it just horribly backfires.
Interdimensional parasite that comes in, and they have to deal with it. And it's an interesting. At the end, it's like an interesting contrivance that the team has to hit the road. I thought that was kind of a weaker kind of. I was like, you could have given us something else to get them on the road, but we'll go with it.
Yeah.
But no, just kind of going into it. What did you think about the characters? What do you think about the way the direction the story was going?
Yeah, I like the way the story's going. This is kind of a fun, easy breezy kind of read. It doesn't get too heavy and deep, which is usually what I generally tend to end up reading. Not being familiar with these guys as a team, like I know Kate Bishop from the Fraction Hawkeye run. Right.
You know Chavez, American Chavez.
I know American Chavez because I also have the first volume of her solo book. I know Wiccan because he makes an appearance up in Civil War. Transports him out.
Loki with his
the kid Loki.
He's essentially he's died, but his spirit was able to. His body was cloned, and I guess we'll just brought forward with a new Loki, and then the original spirit of the original Loki came back and killed that spirit and overtook this body, so that he has a new lease on life. But the spirit of
your usual trickster Loki in this boy for the most part.
Yeah.
A
lot of stuff going on. Like there are a few old familiars in there, but yeah, for the most part, it's brand new characters for you.
Right. Yeah. For me, pretty much brand new.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good story. Like I said, I like the fact that this conflict comes from a want to do good. So it's not just your typical megalomaniacal or megalomaniacal.
Megalomaniacal.
There you go. Dude trying to grab money or grab power. Well, I guess there's something that's trying to grab power, but it's not just like, I will do it. I'm Avenger. No, it's just something that saw an opportunity and
this is what I do, and I'm really good at it, and let me just continue this hold on it.
Yeah, and I don't think we get the team doesn't even come together until like the 4th or 5th issue, which I kind of like. It's we get Wiccan and Hulkling over here doing their thing mostly, and then Loki comes in there. I think somewhere at the end of 1 or 2 to give them and you the reader, hey, this is what's going on. And then American Chavez pops up to help out because she's kept an eye on Loki, You have Marvel Boy and Kate Bishop kind of separate, who I think are missing for a good bit of this.
They've been shagging in space.
Yes.
You know,
And then
I don't blame them.
They pop up at the very end to complete the team for the most part. So you don't get a whole lot of like the young Avengers.
This isn't the original roster either. There are a few members that the young like the young Captain America and some of the other characters from the original team roster that are not in this volume.
Okay.
So it is kind of like these are the remnants. It's a broken team. It's really, and it was kind of jarring when I first started reading, because I was like, oh, what happened with everyone else? I guess I'll find out as if I keep reading. So let me ask you, and this is kind of go or no go territory. Do you feel like these relationships between these characters and the story that they provide us is enough to keep you reading future issues, future volumes?
I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say yeah. It definitely is a go for me. I'm kind of interested in seeing is just the set team? Does the team expand out from here for volumes? And just kind of see what happens, because I feel like just this here isn't completely resolved. I feel.
Oh yeah.
And so I like to see where else they go from here. To see. They go to the Avengers mansion and they're like, hey, this is what's going on, but I'm not sure if I read it correctly, but they just kind of didn't believe them.
Yeah, they didn't believe them.
Dropped them back off with their parents, or who they thought were their parents.
Yeah. I believe that was because of the entity.
Okay, yeah.
Affecting them as well.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't 100% sure if it was the entity or they just straight up didn't believe them. So I like to see the Avengers, the main roster, come in to assist or support or ward off or whatever the case may be.
I know you love the Avengers.
Love me some Avengers, man. They're the greatest superhero group of all time.
And as you say this after having read The Authority.
Yes, I do. I say this after having read The Authority. Actually, Authority might be like number 2 for me.
Authority was number 2?
Yeah,
Okay.
I love me some Authority.
Okay.
I like. I'm not sure if there's an assigned leader to this team, but I feel like it should be America.
She's the marm, keeping tabs on everyone.
Yeah, she's the most serious one. She's the one that what are our options? These are the things we need to do. And so all the tropes are there. Ish. You got your leader in American Chavez. You got the two Hulkling and Wiccan that are I guess the heart.
And she's kind of the reluctant leader too, because she doesn't really want to be there. She's just kind of there. She's like, if I'm not here to keep an eye on this stuff, who will?
Who will? Yeah, you got your comedic relief in Loki. And then you just have your miscellaneous characters in Marvel Boy and in Kate Bishop. But yeah, I would be definitely interested to see team dynamics moving forward from here. There's one panel that I thought was amazingly excellently done.
Okay.
And boom, there it is.
That's the one? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's the one. I think it's issue this is issue 4. With Marvel Boy really makes his entrance onto the scene.
Right.
Takes out a bunch of bad guys in glorious fashion.
Makes it look so easy.
It makes it look so easy, and then they give you a 12-step legend as to what's going on. Like step 1, dramatic entrance. Step 2, there's some up here. Step 3, park cockroach as he's like running across the walls. And step 4, nice seats. Like I guess these are just things that he's thinking to himself as he's taking out bad guy after bad guy after bad guy. Yeah, it was really cool.
The thing that made that not so great for me was the guided reading mode. Because the guided reading mode did not know where to go.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't do justice.
Yeah,
it doesn't serve this particular.
Yeah,
so is this a splash page or a panel?
It's a splash page, and so I can't blame the comic. I can blame guided reading mode, but I can't blame the comic, because when I was like, all right, let me disengage from reading mode so I can take this page in the way it was meant.
Yeah.
With my janky ass tablet, it's been fucking up of late. With my janky ass tablet, I could not zoom it properly, and so I was like, I have to use this to
really small
zoom in,
yeah.
but it'll be out of sequence, and it just kind of ruined the experience of that page.
I don't even blame guided mode for this, because how are you? There's just no good way to navigate. Like, they're just rock and hard place on this particular page. There's no great way to navigate
There is a great way. They have a bulleted, numbered list, chronological order. They could shoot from the 1 to 2, but they didn't do that.
But there's also the outside edges too that you gotta take into consideration.
There are, and those are also numbered.
Yeah, but you can't have on this number 1 and this number 1 at the same time.
You can go number 1 and then jump there, and then to 2, and then or something that jumps back to the legend. They could have done it. They could have done it in different ways, and they didn't.
Okay.
That's my thing.
That's your thing.
And that way that they did it sucked.
So, there you go. There's a lot of great panel layouts all throughout this.
There are.
Kieran
Way to redirect the conversation. Dave's going on one of his tirades again. Once he gets started, he's like the juggernaut. Can't stop his ass.
A little bit of good humor between Thor and Cap, just randomly in a scene while shit's going on in the background at the mansion. Yeah, it's good. It's fun. I call it a go, man. I dig this.
Okay.
I dig this.
I like it too. It's a go for me too. I've got to get over the whole, hey, we're starting this journey. I know that feeling that, hey, we're going on this road trip. I was like, do I really feel like getting invested in this right now? I don't feel like getting invested in it now, but this is one that I will come back to.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about how does the team come together? Does it come together? Does it feel ham-fisted or forced or contrived, or does it feel organic and natural? And I think in this case, it feels organic and natural the way this team comes together.
I don't feel that way, but I still would want to see. I get that there has to be a reason for them to go away, and the contrivance of, hey, if we're close to them, then it spawns all these issues. It's like, well, why don't you just take care of this now? But you gotta go on a road trip.
Yeah, they're kind of just putting a Band-Aid on the issue without exactly
there's a lot of change you're having to make because you made this decision instead of just taking care of the issue.
Also, they're teens, so you gotta keep that in mind.
There are teens, but they also are led by an adult.
Are you considering America Chavez an adult?
Yes.
I consider the same age as the rest of them.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought she was at least in her late 20s, early 30s.
Oh no,
she's never.
Because she's the youngest member of the Ultimates when she was on that team.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
I assume she is the oldest, but she is not much older.
Okay. Well,
maybe
that is.
So it's a soft go for you.
It's a soft go.
But
it's still a go.
Okay. Still a go. All right. We got a go on this one, man. Young Avengers.
Our Young Avengers. Coming up next with Why the Last Man.
All right, we'll be back after these messages with some Brian K. Vaughan.
Don't be afraid. I'm here to help. I am Mysterio, and I am putting Spider-Man on notice. There's no place you'll be able to hide, and nowhere you can run.
As far as I'm concerned, you're just another creep in a costume. What can you do?
I was hoping you'd ask.
How did you do that? Cheap parlor trick.
I guarantee you I'll catch Spider-Man, but I want all you big shot media people there to record it. And now that I've started things rolling, don't drop the ball.
And it is us, yet again.
Back again, you thought it was only one, but it's going to be 2 reviews this time. As it always is.
We're surprising you with the same thing we always give you, right?
You know, for someone out there, this is their first episode.
That's true. Oh, that was pretty good. Talking about Young Avengers. Oh no, there's a whole new.
Yeah. When they said they'd be back, I didn't know what they were referring to.
I thought they'd be back next episode.
I just stuck around for the commercial break.
No, it's called the ABCs of TPBs. Because damn it, it's plural. That means there's more than one we're talking about here. It's actually more possessive than it.
Yeah, that's just true.
Let me just stop myself right here.
We've already established that you don't know your ABCs in the past episode, so it's all right. We'll get there.
Let's get there. The back half of the ABCs. Why the Last Man?
Why the Last Man?
Yes, why? Why him is the Last Man is a better question.
Yeah.
Vertigo Comics, the now defunct. Did you hear about this?
You mean did I hear about this? Yeah, Vertigo has been dead for years. They just haven't had the balls to come out and outright say it.
Yeah, they just never put the time of death to it.
Right.
Now they have. Doctor put pulse. Nope, nothing. Time of death.
It's been Walking Dead for quite some time.
You're not wrong there. Also something that's ended. Walking Dead. Vertigo. Brian K. Vaughan. Art by Pia Guerra. And I do believe that is letters by Jose Marzan Jr. Every time I snatch a Brian K. Vaughan book, it's always an artist I had no idea who Fiona Staples was before Saga, or if she even had a career before Saga. I'd never heard of Pia Guerra before I started Why the Last Man. I had heard of Cliff Chang, who did
Yeah, Cliff Chang.
Paper Girls. He did Wonder Woman too with Azzarello for New 52. But yeah,
A
it's
great Wonder Woman.
yeah. I was looking the other day because I have Volume 1 on the bookshelf, and I was like, I really need to get back to that and just go ahead and read that whole run. Yeah.
Stop when you get to the Finches.
Stop when Finch comes in.
Yeah, stop when it's not, I said the Finches. It's a husband and wife team that writes after the Azzarello and Chang finish their run. They bring it in, and it's all her being scantily clad, pining away for Superman. I'm like, this is not.
That's not Wonder Woman.
That's not Wonder Woman. That's
not anymore.
Not well. It wasn't to begin with. That's like, this is not. They even tried to take it from that character. Completely different character. Completely different. And I was like, nope. Mine ended when Chang and Azzarello put their pen down and said, all right, someone else is taking this over.
Wait, we get about 5-6 volumes
of that. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I collected all. I have all the issues. It was fucking great.
All right, then. Excellent.
But
why the Last Man?
I will also tell you, this is related to what we're talking about.
Okay.
Why the Last Man was the first book that introduced me to Brian K. Vaughan.
Oh, okay. For me, it was Saga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were a little late to the party.
I was definitely late to the BKV family.
This is Brian K. Vaughan party.
Yeah, because at this point he'd done Ex Machina.
Yeah.
Machina. Hell, that's Machina too. Okay. He'd done Why Last Man. He'd done work for Marvel. He did a little Spider-Man story. I was like, this is kind of a dope Spider-Man story.
And I was not aware of this Spider-Man story.
Yeah, I mean, I was doing moving panels back in the days. I paired up a Brian K. Vaughan Doc Ock story with Spider-Man 2. Yeah. Let's get moving with this. So this is pretty much the overarching story of this is something has happened, which has killed every male anything on Earth. We're talking
magical artifact,
male species of all animals, correct? And humans. The only thing that are left are the females. Now
except for York
and Ampersand, his pet
monkey.
monkey Ampersand. So we get York. It's just kind of a dude floating through life, right? Doesn't exactly know what he wants to do.
He was probably one of the worst protagonists.
I think I was about 10 pages in, and I was like, boy, this guy sucks.
He sucks. I was like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about if you were the last guy on Earth, I was like, he's going to have this conversation with so many women.
Not you are the last guy.
Yeah, I still don't want to get away from me.
Yeah. Not that he's just a bad person. He just doesn't contribute much to society. Let's put it that way. Right. He's not out there beating women or doing anything like that. He's a decent fellow who just kind of mooches through life.
Yeah, if he was the second to last man, I think they'd kill him first.
He has a girlfriend. She happens to be on vacation in Australia. When all this goes down, on vacation in Australia. Right. When all this goes down, and he somehow finds out that he is the last man on the face of the earth. How this is set up. Oh, well, let me finish that. So his mom is part of the cabinet, the presidential cabinet.
Everyone's doing something with their lives except for him.
Everyone's doing something with their lives except for him. Sisters, she's med tech, pretty much like an EMS type deal. So everybody's got a little something going on for them. And then, lives change when all this goes down, pretty much. And it goes down about the end of the first issue, if I remember correctly. And then 2 through 5 is kind of the beginning of how will the last man on Earth navigate through Earth, and he's decided, I'm going to go find my girlfriend, damn it, who he was just about to propose to over the phone, which is a horrible idea. Yeah.
Just the lag time alone.
yeah. You don't want to ask that.
Are you? Is it getting some static?
Is it a light delay? So yeah, and it all goes down, and that kind of sets your story going forward from there. He is on the way to try to find his girlfriend, and there will be what I assume is about 1 billion side missions that gets you, sidetracked before he reaches his end goal. We've already seen one of those side missions here, already starting off. The way each issue is set up is not exactly linear. It starts off with a cold open, quote unquote, a cliffhanger type deal, and then the issue kind of goes back and then leads you, how did you get to this? It starts off with the, how did you get here? And then you see in each episode how he got there.
Yeah.
So
it's a good mindfuck. I enjoyed the storytelling style. The hook for the story itself is interesting enough, and the way that Vaughn goes into it's masterfully done.
Masterfully done.
Very different from York's actual magical abilities.
Yeah. So we're still not sure why he by this first volume. We're not sure why he or his monkey Ampersand are the last two male of anything. I assume that's something we might figure out. I know he thinks he has a magical.
Is this the only book of Why the Last Man you've ever read?
Yes.
Oh, this is your first foray into it.
Yeah, back when we first came up with this idea, I was like, all right, this will finally be a time for me to sit down and at least read the first volume of Why the Last Man.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, this is a go for me. This is one that encourages me to continue reading, because, and here's a shocker for you, I never actually finished all of the books. I got maybe 7 volumes in. I own the 7 volumes. But then something happened, and I think I got a little thrown off, and I never was able to discover. I never got to because they wrapped it up. I never found out exactly what happened.
It wasn't a lack of interest. It was just life got in the way.
Life got in the way.
Okay.
And so I said, this is a great time to go back to it. But yeah, within those 7 books, they don't.
Still don't know.
You don't know.
Still don't know why. Why? Okay, then. All right. Yeah. I think it's 12.
It's very Mad Max-ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, shit's just fucked up. You don't know why shit's fucked up, but they just drop you in the world.
He's got a cadre. There's shit hits the fan in major ways in this series. It's really good.
Okay.
I mean, as you can expect from a Brian K. Vaughan joint.
Yeah, I still have not come across anything Vaughan related that I have not liked. I haven't read Ex Machina yet.
You haven't read Ex Machina?
No.
Oh my god!
I saw I read the synopsis and I was like, I don't know if this will grab me really like that.
So it's the mayor of a city, and he can speak to any mechanical thing as if it were a living entity.
Right.
Tell it to do something, and it will obey his command.
Yes.
And that is how he also has used his persona, his superhero persona, which the public knows about because he's up and
he's a mayor.
Right? He's a mayor. He's put it out there. You need to read it.
Okay.
Just read it. Just read it. It's fucking great, man. You would think it'd be like The Rocketeer with mind control, but it's not. It's not.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is interesting.
As far as why is concerned, the go factor is obviously there. Yeah, I will be definitely reading more of this. And then we also have this Agent 33. And then I'm interested to see what her whole motivation and what her story is. And she's been tasked to kind of tend to this journey with York as they go from side quest to side quest to side quest before he ultimately, hopefully, catches up with his girlfriend wherever she is.
How many of the books do you have in your owning possession?
I have the first 5 volumes, I think.
Digital?
Yes, all digital. Yeah, there was Vertigo had a sale a while back,
okay.
And I picked up the first 5, I think.
Try to get the rest if you can. Just go ahead and just commit to it because you will want to finish it. Unlike Dave, don't be like Dave.
Don't be like
in
Dave.
this respect.
Many of the ways to be like Dave.
Right.
Like having a giant fucking flask right there on your counter, but which I definitely want to be like Dave because I want that flask. Yeah. But don't be like Dave in the fact that I did not finish Why the Last Man. I'm currently in. I would say at this point, somewhere between knee and hip deep in my Bendis Avengers, like his whole Avengers. Man. Yeah, that's like 8-year run, I think, or something like that. So I'm guesstimate I'm at New Avengers like high 20s, so I'm about year 2-ish, year 3-ish right now. So that's my long read, and I read other little things here and there in between. So when that's done, then I got to do the long. I have all of Hickman's Fantastic Four FF that I'm gonna do. Man.
Yeah, you still haven't
Metabarons. Yes, I know, Dave.
Yeah, and Metabarons are also more than meets the eye.
More than meets the eye.
Those are the ones that I've told you that you need to change your life and move your life around to accommodate those things.
move my entire life.
Move your life around just to accommodate those things.
So you enjoyed this, sir. You greatly enjoyed this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any plans on, now that you've reinvested yourself in this volume 1, do you have any plans on trying to see if you can...
I'm going to go back through it and I'm going to read the whole damn thing.
Whole damn thing, huh?
I'll probably get the whole thing digitally so I can just go ahead and just read it that way. Because even though I have like the first 8 books in physical form, actually no, I don't. That's why I got it digitally, because the first volume I loaned out to someone else who hasn't returned it. But yeah, I want to go back through and I want to finish it. So I'll probably do that in another month or so.
There you go. So that's a double go episode. Double goes, man.
Yeah, we have good taste.
I feel like lately we've been doing pretty good on the goes. Yeah. What was before? Oh, not Executioner song. Oh no, not Executioner.
You know
song.
You enjoyed it. Someone brainwiped you after you finished reading it and made you think that you only read just 2-3 issues.
Maybe that's what happened.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'm choosing to believe that.
Okay, then whatever you choose to believe, so help you sleep at night.
As Mysterio said, it's whatever I want them to believe.
Oh, that's a good point. So well done.
I didn't need Stark Tech to do it.
Everyone's life benefits from Stark Tech, sir. I don't know if you do that or not.
Benefits or is canceled by.
Are we winding this bad boy down, sir?
I think we are. I think we're coming to the end of the
feel
episode.
like,
I believe that we have some news to impart.
Yes, we're coming to the end of this episode. We're also coming to the end of this podcast, this series. We're at the Y's. Due to some circumstances, we're gonna go ahead and our original plans were to hit the Z's and then reverse it and go Z back to A. But we're just gonna end it here with the Z. So next episode will be the last episode of the ABCs at TPBs.
Yeah. I want to go ahead and apologize to all of our fans. Alicia Gomez, you've been with us from the start.
You've been with us from the A.
Love you to death, baby. And I, just as a personal thing, I know you're still...
Hey, how about you save all the goodbyes and the farewells until next episode?
No, I'm doing it now.
Okay.
I'm doing it now. Just as a personal thing, I'm going to get that list of all the comics that you recommended to us, and I'm going to read them.
All right, that's what's up. Yeah. That's what's up. She has a not mainstream taste, which is nice and refreshing, because
she's got a great taste.
Yeah, she's got some stuff out there that I never would have thought to check out.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know
I'd like to think that she's enriched our lives as much as we've enriched hers.
Oh, of course. She enriched my life. What is it, 2009? Over a decade ago. Over a decade ago.
Yeah. You've been knowing her for a while.
2005, 2006, somewhere in there. Yeah.
Good stuff.
So that's it for the Y. We'll be back next episode with the Z episode, our final bit of business. Do you know what your Z is already, sir?
I want to say Zen Intergalactic Ninja, but
what that title alone tells me, man.
Yeah, it is. It was. I don't think that's actually a good one for us to read, though. I think we need to go out on something stronger than that. What do you have for your Z?
I have that Z. When we first conceived of this idea, there was a couple letters where I just didn't have anything. I think I was struggling on the Q. There's another letter in there somewhere, and Z I was struggling on. So I got this joint Zero from Image Comics. So even though I knew nothing about it, it is Image, and in Image I place my faith. Edward Zero was the best spy the agency had, and then he realized he was working for the wrong side. So that might be interesting to see what all kind of twists and turns happen in that bit of business.
Maybe I will force you to read.
Oh God, force me to read.
Yes, maybe I should do that. We'll see. Well, next episode will be a surprise.
It'll be a surprise. Yeah. I think that's it for this episode. The ABC TVBs will be back here in our standard couple of weeks to wrap it up with the Zeds, as you British folk call it. Until then, you guys take it easy.
Oh, now you want to come up with an ending.